This is what happens to your seeds if they don't get enough light. They grow up really, really tall because they're trying to get that light, and then they go, and they fall over, and they die. And this will happen if you try to set it out on your windowsill. So this is why you need some sort of artificial light source. And this is the key to starting seeds indoors. Do not plant these things deep. And so if it's a big seed like this, 2 to 3 times, that's how deep you're going to do it. But people tend to plant them too deep, and they take forever to germinate. So just put them right on the top of the soil, put a little bit of soil on top of it, and you're going to want to water underneath. You don't want to water on top and then wash it all around the seed. And once you water underneath, then you stick this little guy on it, and this is what keeps the water. So the water will collect on the top, and then it'll drip back down, and it'll keep it nice and moist. It also keeps it humid. And then once you start seeing the green come up, go ahead and remove this, and then let them all come up. And you want to do this in your house, like minimum 65 degrees. So you could probably do it in your basement, but I would get it over a heat vent or something. Seeds generally want 75, 85 degrees to germinate. So the warmer you can get it, the better. But then once it's germinated, then depending on the seed, you can throw it out in your garage. So I have a stand like this in my garage. Well, it's actually, you'll see a picture of it. And that's for all the ones that can handle the cool, like lettuce and broccoli and cauliflower. 55 degrees, no problem. They like it, actually. They'll do better in that stuff. Whereas when I'm doing my tomatoes and peppers and stuff, I keep it indoors because it likes the warmth. So I'd set this in my basement, and then if I ever want to move it outside, you can do it in the garage or whatever. So that's the one I have in my garage. And that system, it costs about $100 to do because I have 6 different bays of lights, and I have 1-inch PVC. You just follow the directions on the back, and you keep your seeds fertilized that way. Seeds need fertilization once a week while they're in their transplanted stage, or before you put them out in the garden. And you want to wet the soil too before you put your seed in. You don't want to have dry soil in there. So get all your stuff in there, put the water in underneath it, let it soak and wet, put your seed in there, put a little light dusting of soil depending on the size of the seed, and then just put it away. In 7 to 10 days it should be up, germinated, depending on the seed. And I'll fill it up about 1/3 of the way, the whole thing, and that'll be good for 3 or 4 days. I water every 3 to 4 days on a seed. Basically when it starts drying out, you want to get them water. Now if it's too dry out, there's mister sprays, that's fine. You can do that because that's not going to harm the seed. But generally that method works well for me. Once these start getting big enough, then you're going to want to transplant them. And that's what I put them in these. And then these I'll just stick directly into the garden. Okay, so this is, and they have different systems. I mean, there's seed starters. Essentially, all you're trying to do is get it up. You know, get the germination. Once it's germinated, you could throw it in one of these. They have all kinds of systems to do this, but generally I'll keep it in here. And if it's going to be a bigger one, like this is broccoli, and this is cauliflower, or vice versa. I can't see very well, but these are broccoli and cauliflower in these. It's going to be a bigger plant, and so I like to put it in a bigger pot. Whereas onions, I just left like this until I put them out because they're such a small plant. If you take dirt from your garden, you're introducing all kinds of fungus and everything, it's going to die. So only get sterile potting soil. And any potting soil generally is sterile, but if it says sterile on the bag, that's even a plus. But just get it at Walmart or Home Depot, and a pack of it should do. Get it up. These are cotyledons is what the technical term for them are, but these are seed leaves. These are going to die. You can see them right here, how they're dying. That's okay. You want them to die. These are the germination leaves. It's putting those up. It's getting all its energy. It's to do all the rest of its thing, and then those go away. So don't be worried about when you see those 2 first leaves die. And whenever you read anything, it says about true leaves. If it has 4 to 6 true leaves, that's what it's talking about. Not these. You want true leaves. These. Does that make sense? Okay. So germination, lights, transplanting them into something bigger if you need to, harden them off, throw them out in the garden.